Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and this is WNBA Weekly, the show where twice a week, usually on Mondays and Fridays, I talk about things that have happened recently in the association and things I'm looking forward to in the upcoming days. Once again, I apologize for last Friday's video. I was not in a good frame of mind. There was a lot of stuff going on. I'm in a much better mood this week. Things have started looking up, so let's get to it. On Friday, you had Meesseman leading the Mystics to a strong victory. They end their losing streak as well as the Fever's winning streak. Then you also had the battle for first place between the Lynx and the Sky, and the Lynx dominated, winning their third in a row. And then you have the Shock continuing to struggle on the road as they end up dropping one to the Stars in San Antonio, which I'm not going to say I told you so, but if you look at the previous video, certain facts were pointed out. And then on Friday, you had the Indiana Fever. They were supposed to play the Connecticut Sun, but weather delays prevented their flight, and so that game was postponed until after the All-Star break. But the two games that were played, you had Sue Bird with a season-high 12 assists as she led the Storm to a decisive victory over the Atlanta Dream. They were in command the entire time, and this is their ceiling. This is how they can play when everything clicks. But they have so many new pieces. Many of those new pieces are also very young, so things don't always click. But when things are going well, they're capable of beating a lot of teams in this league. And then you have the Mercury's win streak finally coming to an end, thanks to some clutch free throws from the Epiphany Prince, giving New York a 2-point win. Then on Sunday, you had a dominating performance from Maya Moore as the Lynx, they win their fourth straight game, and they hand the Tulsa Shock their third straight loss and their first home loss of the season. You've got Elena Delle Donne just completely dominating. Her big performance helps the Sky completely dismantle the Stars. And then let's briefly look at the Connecticut Sun and the season that they've had. They lost their season opener, but then they won 7 consecutive games, vaulted themselves to first place in the Eastern Conference, and they've been winless since then. Sunday they lost their 6th consecutive game, and now they've fallen back to 500 and been knocked out of the playoff standings. So, this is what I expected them to play like. That 7-1 is a bit shocked, but it looks like everyone's kind of gotten used to them and they're learning how to play them, and now they're playing like I expected them to. And so that's most of what happened, but a couple of big developments as far as players are concerned. First of all, Seimone Augustus of the Minnesota Lynx, she had arthroscopic surgery on her knee, and she is listed as out indefinitely. And so that was announced on Friday after I had already posted my video. And the day before that, Wright had the same surgery, and so she's out for a while too. There seems to be no timetable for their return. It's a possibility they might not come back at all, but I'm hoping they do. Either way, right now Minnesota is looking a little bit thinner at guard, but hasn't seemed to hurt them yet this weekend. And then the biggest news, though, a big development, was I read an article on Sunday that said Candace Parker has officially announced that she's returning. So she will be coming back. She'll be joining the team after the All-Star game on the July 29th game against the Lynx. So that's great news. And now, moving on to the games to look forward to this week. We've only got a couple of days of action, and then the All-Star break is going to happen. So first we've got Tuesday, where you've got a full slate of action. First of all, you've got Washington at Tulsa. That one's at 12:30 p.m. So that's a morning/afternoon game, depending on where you live. Because don't forget, I keep forgetting to say this half the time, all of these games are Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to adjust for whatever time zone you're in. Also, I'll tell you which ones are being broadcast nationally, but otherwise you can check your local listings, or you can watch every single game on WNBA Live Access. So, first of all, on Tuesday, you've got Washington at Tulsa at 12:30 p.m., and you've also got Indiana at San Antonio at 12:30 p.m., so you've got a couple of morning games you can check out. And then you've also got Atlanta at Chicago at 8, and then you've got New York at Seattle at 10 p.m., and the one to really look forward to, you've got Phoenix at Los Angeles at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN2. And that one's one to watch because in that game they're going to announce the reserves for the All-Star game. So, and then on Wednesday you've only got a couple of games. You've got Connecticut at Minnesota at 1 p.m. And then you've got New York at LA at 10:30 p.m. That one's going to be on NBA TV. It's the last game before the All-Star break, and it's also the last game that the Sparks will have to play without Candace Parker. So it's an exciting week to look forward to. And then so that's it for this edition of WNBA Weekly. I'm your host Nathan Lyle. This is the fan perspective, and I will see you on Thursday with another all-new edition of WNBA Weekly. And then on Friday, I will do my mid-season power rankings, just based on how they performed the first half of the season. Where do I think everyone's going to finish in the second half of the season? And then, of course, we've got our All-Star break, and then we'll come back on maybe even Sunday or Monday for the next edition of WNBA Weekly. Have a great week.